Toto Wolff just dropped a bombshell that's shaking up the F1 world. What could this shocking announcement be? How will it shake the entire Formula One? Let's dive into this video today to learn what Wolff's bombshell is all about and how it's changing the game in Formula One. Let's all agree that Mercedes is having a tough time. In the first 3 races, they struggled a lot. It's like they're stuck in the mud. And it's not just a small problem. Even the team members, the staff and the drivers are confused and puzzled about what's happening. The lowest point seemed to be in Melbourne, where they faced their first double did not finish DNF in 5 years. That just made things worse. Before this, enter Surfshark VPN. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's a VPN got to do with Formula One? Well, let me tell you, it's got everything to do with keeping your online activities safe and secure, whether you're at home or traveling the globe. Now let's talk about the digital age we're living in. Whether we're jet-setting around the globe or just popping down to our local cafe, we're constantly connected to the online world. But here's the thing. Even when we're on vacation or surfing on unsecured Wi-Fi networks, we still want to catch all the action from the F1 races. And that's where Surfshark comes in clutch. It's your passport to uninterrupted F1 viewing, no matter where you are in the world. With Surfshark, you can securely stream races from anywhere, ensuring that you never miss a single lap or podium finish. And let me tell you, using Surfshark is as easy as pie. With Surfshark, you can safeguard your digital life for less than the price of a cup of coffee. Picture this, you're traveling, and you want to catch up on your favorite race from back home. With Surfshark, you can virtually transport yourself anywhere in the world, accessing content that might otherwise be restricted. Plus, with their 30-day money-back guarantee policy, you can try it risk-free. So whether you're safeguarding your data on public Wi-Fi like a pro or unlocking geo-blocked content with a click, Surfshark has your back. And the best part? You can snag a sweet deal by using our exclusive promo code. Secure your privacy with Surfshark. Enter coupon code UNLEASHED for an extra 3 months free at surfshark.dals/unleashed. It can also be found in the description below the video. So, rev up your online security today with Surfshark VPN. Stay safe, stay secure, and stay unstoppable, just like Formula One. They were never expected to end up with 0 points. Even when Russell crashed on the last lap, he could still score points. But now, both drivers are far from being competitive. This is a big change from where they were last year. After 2 seasons of highs and lows, with lows being almost impossible to drive cars and highs being a surprising win in Interlagos, Mercedes thought 2024 was the right time to start over with a new idea. But things aren't going as planned. Why? Mercedes has a lot of smart engineers, so what's the issue? Well, there has to be someone responsible for this mess. Even though Mercedes usually avoids blaming anyone, keeping that up is hard when you're not performing well anymore. Ever wonder why Mercedes is having such a tough time this year? They've been scratching their heads too, but after methodically going through their issues one by one, they might have finally found the first steps to pulling themselves out of this mess. Keep your ears open because Toto Wolff recently made some refreshingly honest remarks. It seems like the team principal is in this for the long haul, unable to leave even if he wanted to. It's safe to say Mercedes hasn't had the smoothest start. Lewis Hamilton, currently just 2 points ahead of the newcomer Ollie Bearman, finds himself trailing behind the Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari drivers. Meanwhile, George Russell, performing better than his departing teammate, is holding his ground among the midfielders. Each race weekend seems to be met with hopes of improvement, but those hopes haven't materialized so far. It's becoming increasingly doubtful that we'll witness any significant turnaround from Mercedes until major upgrades roll in. The double retirements accentuated the troubles in Melbourne, but even before that, it was clear that Mercedes wasn't living up to the expectations set during the winter break. They weren't showing the same level of performance they had promised, leaving fans and experts alike puzzled and disappointed. Karun Chandhok's analysis. Karun Chandhok, speaking as a pundit on Sky Sports, shared his observations after the race. According to him, Mercedes faced challenges right from the start in Jeddah. Despite expectations, the race in Melbourne didn't turn out as clean-cut as they hoped. Instead, it left them with a feeling of disappointment. Chandhok pointed out that the double retirements were just the tip of the iceberg. Mercedes' pace throughout the race was far from competitive. They never seemed to seriously threaten Ferrari or the other top teams. This particularly concerns a team that finished second in the championship last year. Mercedes finds itself in a precarious position. Chandhok emphasized the difficulty they might face in replicating last year's success. Despite little evidence to support this claim, he highlighted the team's insistence on hidden performance potential in the car. Chandhok also noted that Mercedes' move backward isn't new. Despite their optimism, they seem to struggle to find their car's promised performance. This suggests a deeper issue that the team needs to address. Towards the end of last year, Mercedes found themselves slipping down the ranks, settling for around the fourth fastest team. They lost ground to Ferrari and were even surpassed by McLaren as the season drew close. However, they managed to secure second place in the championship. But was it solely due to the car's performance? According to insiders, Mercedes attributes their second-place finish to factors outside of pure speed. They credit their skilled drivers, fewer mistakes, and better reliability for clinching the runner-up spot. This implies that the team's success wasn't solely reliant on the speed of their car. This sheds light on Lewis Hamilton's decision to part ways with Mercedes at the end of the season. Regardless of personal opinions about him, Hamilton dedicated a decade to the team, giving his all. However, he felt the team's direction clashed with his vision for the car's development. Mercedes has faced criticism for their approach to car development in recent years. Critics argue that the team often blindly follows computer-generated optimizations for the car's build and setup. This approach sometimes contradicts on-track performance, as seen with issues like porpoising, which surprised everyone in the sport at the onset of the current aero regulations. What's troubling for Mercedes is their unchanged rhetoric, stuck in a loop of, "We promise there's hidden performance here, the computer says so." This attitude has made the team seem blunt and unresponsive in recent years. Team principal Toto Wolff's remarks after the Melbourne race highlighted a significant issue, a disconnect between what they see in simulations and what unfolds on the track. This suggests a deeper problem within Mercedes' infrastructure or fundamental approach to car design. Wolff mentioned that after the Australian Grand Prix, they addressed several potential issues, such as suspension, gearbox stiffness, and a vibrating steering rack. He said, "When I look at the positives, and that is we took many potential root causes out of the equation. We went through our suspension, we weren't sure about the stiffness of our gearbox carrier, we had a vibrating steering rack, and all of those things have disappeared. But fundamentally, whatever we see in the tunnel doesn't correlate with what's happening on the track. I don't see dogmatism, I just see an open environment where people share and take themselves by the nose and say, you know, maybe in my area, we were making mistakes." He further said, "I don't think we're missing something. It is just a complication of what's happening with the car that we can't see." However, despite these adjustments, there's still a fundamental mismatch between their tunnel simulations and real-world performance. It feels like flipping a light switch on and off for Mercedes. Despite their usual positive outlook, team principal Wolff couldn't hide the pain anymore, admitting, "We really need to dig deep because this is brutally painful." It's not hard to see why. Lost in the dark, Wolff isn't sitting idly by as the team falls behind. Despite his efforts, he's struggling to figure out what to do next. Hoping for a quick fix like an on-off switch isn't realistic. You can't magically find 0.4 of a second just by tweaking settings or making small adjustments to the car. The team seems to be grasping at straws, jumping from one potential fix to another, going from gearbox to steering rack to suspension. But they need a more fundamental change to the car. The problem is, they're clueless about where to even start. Commentator Martin Brundle questioned Wolff's ability to stay positive despite ongoing underperformance. For 3 seasons in a row, Mercedes has struggled to get their ground effect cars right, and once they do, they can't seem to maintain consistency. He said, for the 3rd consecutive season they haven't hit the sweet spot with this era of ground effect cars, and then can't seem to contain the unpredictability of performance after that. Team boss Toto Wolff always has elegant words and phrases to move the story on and refocus for the next race or season, but it must be wearing very thin for him to see the lack of progress. While Wolff is known for his eloquent words and ability to refocus, the lack of progress must take its toll on him. Questions about Toto Wolff's leadership are becoming more pronounced compared to previous years. He's struggling to pinpoint where things are going wrong, leaving him incredibly frustrated. However, a unique aspect of his role makes the situation even more agonizing. Toto isn't just the team principal, he's also a co-owner. This means that the team's performance hits him on a personal level. He can't simply be replaced or move on like other executives might. The weight of responsibility and the inability to distance himself from the team's struggles make the experience all the more distressing. He said, "I'm a part of this business, and I want to make sure I'm contributing positively and creatively. I'm all ears if someone has a better idea, because I'm determined to help turn this team around quickly. We haven't made any big mistakes since 2021, but there are some things about the car's behavior that we don't understand, which is new to us." When asked if he's thought about stepping down from his role, Wolff replied, "I reflect on my actions every day, and it's a fair question, but leaving isn't something I feel is right at the moment. However, if you have any suggestions on who could help improve things, I'm open to hearing them." Despite the challenges, Toto remains committed to turning things around. He's open to ideas and acknowledges the need for positive change. However, he's also grappling with the reality of his situation. So what do you think of Toto Wolff's bombshell regarding the struggles? Comment below and subscribe for more.